Hello everyone and welcome to a Let's Play series that I am super excited to do. About an hour ago at the time of recording this, the Steam version of Guild Wars 2 had just released, and I think this is a good opportunity for me to start a new account on Steam and to start playing the game all the way from 0 to max level, to complete the story, to do a ton of stuff in the game, and I kind of want to explore the entirety of Guild Wars 2 with everyone here on my channel. I'm going to talk a little bit more about what this series is, but TLDR for right now is it is a comprehensive Guild Wars 2 journey where we are starting from nothing and we are going to explore almost the entirety of Guild Wars 2. So let's get started. Today we are starting off on the character creation screen, and we are on the first step of creating our character. So we can pick one of 5 races to play, and right now we have Char highlighted. So Char are one of the races. The Char race was forged in the merciless crucible of war. It is all they know, war defines them, and their quest for dominion drives them ever onward. The weakling and the fool have no place among the Char. Victory is all that matters, and it must be achieved by any means and at any cost. The second race we have here is human. Humans have lost their homeland, their security, and their former glory. Even their gods have withdrawn, and yet the human spirit remains unshaken. These brave defenders of Kryda continue to fight with every ounce of their strength. Next, we have Norn. This race of towering hunters experienced a great defeat when the Ice Dragon drove them from their glacial homeland. Nevertheless, they won't let one lost battle, however punishing, dampen their enthusiasm for life and the hunt. They know that only the ultimate victor achieves legendary rewards. Fourth, we have Ashura. These alchemagical inventors may be short in stature, but they're intellectual giants. Among the Ashura, it's not the strong who survive, but the clever. Other races believe they should rule by virtue of their power and strength, but they're deluding themselves. In due time, all will serve the Ashura. And last, we have Savari. Savari are not born. They awaken beneath the pale tree with knowledge gleaned in their pre-life dream. These noble beings travel, seeking adventure and pursuing quests. They struggle to balance curiosity with duty, eagerness with chivalry, and warfare with honor. Magic and mystery entwine to shape the future of this race that has so recently appeared. So these are the 5 races available to play in Guild Wars 2, and throughout the duration of this Let's Play series we will be playing as every single race, but starting off we are going to be picking one race. And like many people, I'm going to be picking human as the first race to play through. So let's go to the next. I'm just going to pick a gender here, and then now we can pick a profession. So a profession is like classes from various other games such as World of Warcraft. So World of Warcraft has warrior. Similarly, Guild Wars 2 has a warrior. So currently we can pick from one of 8 different professions. Eventually, when we unlock the first expansion to Heart of Thorns, or the first expansion to Guild Wars 2, which is called Heart of Thorns, we will unlock a 9th profession. But starting off, I'm just going to pick one of these 8 professions to play as, and my all-time favorite profession in the game is Guardian. So I think we are going to play Guardian. Starting off, Guardians gain powerful personal enhancements from their virtues, which they can briefly expand to aid friends or damage foes. Formidable on their own, Guardians shine brightest in the company of allies. And here I see that Guild Wars 2 just added a complexity rating, so Guardian is considered very easy, and it says that they favor melee, support allies, and have defensive magic, which I would agree with. So next, we can do a little bit of character customization here, so let's go ahead and do just that. I think Guild Wars 2 has a really good character customization screen where there are a lot of different options, and as we go forward there will be even more options that, beyond our physical traits or appearances, but let's go ahead and just do a little bit of customization here. So here I created a very basic character that very basic, But here we have armor dyes, and I'm not going to really mess around with this for now, but with the pieces of armor that we unlock throughout the game, we can also unlock dyes to change the color of those armors. So here we just have a basic like stony colored with blue on our character right now, and I think we'll just leave that for now. So next we have our first piece of background information for our character that we can choose. So here, as a symbol of my dedication, I wear Conqueror's Podrons, Fanatic's Podrons, or a Visionary's Helm. Fanatic's Podrons: long ago I determined my path and nothing will sway me from it. I'm stalwart in my beliefs and immovable in my loyalties. The weight of my Podrons reminds me of the burden I carry. Here we have Conqueror's Podrons. When I was young, a famed hero returning from battle stopped and gave me his Podrons. Ever since, I've worn them as my own, and I make every attempt to live up to his legend. I too will be a conqueror. So out of these 3 pieces of armor, we can pick one of these armors to take with us in our adventures, and I believe I'm going to pick the Conqueror's Podrons as the piece of armor that we will start off with. Next, we have kind of what personality type we are, and this doesn't matter too much, but it's a nice little bit of flavor in the game. This was a little bit more important back in 2012 when the game originally released, but nowadays, not so important. But trouble may follow me, but I use my blank to overcome it. So do I use my charm, my dignity, or my ferocity? I'm going to go ahead and pick dignity. So next we have a really important question that we are going to answer here, and this has a very large impact on the story that we are going to be participating in. So I was raised either in the streets, by common folk, or among the nobility. So I can choose kind of where I came from, where my character was born, kind of what population I was surrounded with. And with that, it will change a lot about kind of the people that I interact with, my like old friends, and like the story that I am doing in the game. So the story that I want to pick here is actually I was raised in the streets. The reason for this is because I have mostly done by common folk and among the nobility, so I want to do a story that is really new to me and something that I have actually never experienced in Guild Wars 2, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I grew up poor on the streets, living hand to mouth. Every day was a challenge, but like I tell my old buddy Quinn, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. I worked hard to change my luck, but I've still got a long way to go. So next, the next part of our story that we can select is one of my biggest regrets. So I can choose if my biggest regret is I've never searched for my true parents, I never recovered my sister's body, or that I passed up an opportunity to perform in the circus. So the biggest regret that I want to pick for this character is that I've never searched for my true parents. So when I was an infant, I was abandoned at an orphanage. A kind couple adopted me and became my family. However, I've always wondered about my birth parents. So next, I can pick to be blessed by one of the 6 human gods. So everyone said I was blessed by Blink when I was young. So each of the human gods are very different and unique lore characters, and we can pick one of them that we were blessed by. So Duena, the goddess of healing, air, and life, is the even-tempered leader of the gods. She's often depicted as young, tall, and slender, rising into the air on immense feathery wings. Grenth is the god of darkness, ice, and death. His acolytes know that the veil between worlds is thin. Death does not frighten me. Even the darkest nights gives me comfort because Grenth watches over me. Balthazar, the god of war, fire, and challenge, oversees the battle arena. He gifts those who have a knack for combat, strategy, and skill with weapons. I have trained hard to honor Balthazar. Next is Melandru, the goddess of nature, earth, and growth. Can be found in every harvest and every flower. She smiles upon those like me who have an affinity with animals. I am a follower of Melandru. We can pick Lissa, who wears many masks. She's the dual-faced goddess of beauty, water, and illusion. She is the patron of the most attractive and graceful among us. Her blessings have touched me all my life. And lastly is Cormyr, who is the goddess of order, spirit, and truth. She was once mortal like me. She inspires me every day to find greater courage and to seek rightness of heart, might, and action. So for those of you who played the Guild Wars 1 story of the Nightfall campaign, Cormyr, who ascended to godhood at the end of that campaign, is now someone that you can be blessed by in Guild Wars 2. And I think that is really cool. I really enjoyed the Nightfall campaign, and I think that Cormyr's kind of just vibe, I guess you could say, as well as like the blessing that you get, really fits the lore of the character that I'm kind of building right here. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Cormyr. So here we have the final part of this character creation process. So we have Cormyr, the goddess of truth, blessed me when I was young. Though trouble may follow me, I overcame it with dignity. My people are dirt poor, and I've struggled all my life. I made something of myself, and the only thing I regret is that I never searched for my true parents. I'm a guardian. I wear the armor and have the aspirations of a conqueror. This is my story. So now I can choose what character name I want. So let's go ahead and come up with a name. So I spent actually a good bit of time trying to come up with a character name, and I think I have one. So for my human character, I want to pick just my normal name for my human character. So I'm going to have Athos. However, Athos is taken, and I want to add a little bit of lore and story into my character. So I kind of, instead of having like a title or like a last name, I am going to call myself Athos of Loamhurst. And I am naming myself after a city or a village in Guild Wars 2 that we will visit in the far future. And I kind of just want that city to kind of be my home, where I came from, where I grew up kind of. And I just kind of want that to be a part of my character's identity. So I am a human guardian, Athos of Loamhurst, and let us enter the world of Tyria.
The human race once ruled Tyria. Now, we struggle to hold our ground. We've been defeated, driven back, broken, but we will not surrender. So many nations have fallen. Only Kryta still stands. Our faith is strong despite the silence of the six gods. With courage, we'll make our stand in Divinity's reach. The city is my home. I grew up on the streets. Although I have friends, my life has always been hard. I've faced the worst this city could throw at me, and I sent it home bleeding. I'm done living hand to mouth. There's a war on our doorstep, and I refuse to be buried by it. Today I stepped outside Divinity's reach, hoping to find better luck outside the city. Problem is, when I arrived in Shaymore, the village was under attack by centaurs. Innocent villagers are in danger. Someone has to help. I can take care of myself. But that's not enough anymore. Someone has to help those who can't. This is my story.
So this is my story, and we are beginning here. So here I am. Whenever you create a new character, you start off in the little tutorial instance, and here we can just begin the start of our story. So we can talk to Corporal Baron here, and we can see in our top right corner we have our story mission that we need to do. So we just talked to Corporal Baron, and now we need to visit the inn to receive orders from Sergeant Waters. And here on the map we can see a green arrow that is pointing us in the direction that we need to go. We are just outside Divinity's Reach, so there's Divinity's Reach right there, and we are in the village of Shaymore, which is currently under attack by centaurs, and there's stuff on fire, and there's lightning, and there's a storm, and there's just chaos everywhere. So we are going to do our best to help the citizens of Shaymore and the guards of the Seraph that are around here.
Sergeant, there are more centaurs on the other side of town. Captain Thackeray's calling for reinforcements at the garrison.
If he's calling for help, it must be serious. But I can't spare anyone.
I'll go. Captain Thackeray's never failed Divinity's Reach. If I can help him, I will.
Balthazar bless you. That's the spirit that'll win this war. Good luck.
So we just had our little first kind of side-to-side dialogue cutscene there, where we were talking to Sergeant Waters, and she is sending us east to the garrison, so let us head over towards that garrison. Starting off, we are on a very fresh account, so none of the settings are changed, and that is something that I am definitely going to adjust in the future. I have a lot of settings changed in my main version of Guild Wars 2 on my main account, on my main client, and none of those things are changed here. So I am definitely going to configure some things, and I'm going to mess around a lot with audio this series to try to get like the best audio. I believe it is like pretty okay right now, but it's not the best it can be. So I'm going to adjust some of those sliders. But here we are at the garrison, so we can fight all these Tamini warriors, a tribe of centaurs that is currently attacking Shamor, and we're going to do our best to fight them. So Guild Wars 2's combat system is very unique and very special, and I made a whole video about that actually. And starting off, we just have access to 2 skills. So we have access to our mace auto attack skill, which is basically just bashing things with a mace. And then we have access to a healing ability where we can block attacks while healing. And we're going to explore every skill in the game as we go through all these different classes and races and adventures that we are going to go on. And starting off, we're just going to explore Guardian. So I talked a little bit earlier about kind of my goals for this series, and generally speaking, I wanted to be a very comprehensive exploration of the entirety of Guild Wars 2. So we are going to be doing the entire story, and we are probably going to be doing map completion in every single zone, and we're going to be exploring a bunch of different systems and different gameplay styles and different game modes like PvP, Road versus Road, different parts of PvE like Fractals of the Mists, dungeons, raids, all that stuff. But starting off, we are on a basic path through the starting area here, and we just had this garrison open up, and we're going to walk through this garrison. And we can see there are a ton of guards here around fighting, and there are some Tamini charging in across this bridge that we're going to hold off. Our current objective is to help defend the garrison from Tamini attackers, and we will do just that. So as I was saying, I basically kind of just want to explore every single part of Guild Wars 2, and I want to put it into a full comprehensive Let's Play series. So I know some people do Guild Wars 2 Let's Plays by kind of categorizing the Let's Plays through like story eras. So they'll do a Let's Play for the personal story, and then a Let's Play for like Living World Season 2 and so on. I want everything to be one single full list. So it is one full Let's Play starting off from a brand new account that has nothing unlocked, 17 achievement points, and we are going to be going all the way to glory and unlocking a ton of stuff in the game, and it will be one series to basically explore our entire journey. So to finish off the very beginning of our journey here, we have a little bit of a mini boss fight that is going to lead into a bigger boss fight. So we just easily destroy this mod near High Sage, and we're going to run along this bridge because it is running away, and we're going to see what happens next. You can tell there are a lot of players near us, and we are going through this very easily because there are a ton of players. So here we have what that character Logan Thackeray said is a threat. We have a greater earth elemental that the Modernir High Sage has just summoned, and we're going to fight its hands so we can kind of save Shamor and drive back the centaurs. So here we are able to kind of like hide with Logan Thackeray if we need to, so he'll kind of shield us and we won't take damage, and it can give us time to heal back up. But we have so many people here, and honestly the very beginning part of this game is very, very easy, so I don't think we have much of a threat here. So we can just deal with these earth elemental hands. We got one of them down, so we just have one left. Everyone is rallying together to finish this one off. You can see people have a bunch of different professions. We have a ranger, a thief, a warrior here. Very exciting. And this hand is about to go down.
What happened?
You were injured when the elemental exploded. Captain Thackeray brought you here personally. You've been unconscious for 3 days. You had lots of visitors. Villagers you rescued, some seraph, and a nervous, shady-looking character who came by every day. I wouldn't give his name.
That'd be my friend Quinn. You might want to check your supply cabinets. I'll find out what he wanted once I'm fully recovered. What should I do now?
Fresh air and exercise are the best medicine. The goddess Duena helped you. Perhaps you could help others?
Thanks, I will. And thanks for taking such good care of me.
Bless you. You'll find plenty to do out in the valley. May Duena protect you.
And there we finished the tutorial for Guild Wars 2, and now we are out in the open world and we are surrounded by a ton of players. So the Steam version of Guild Wars 2 has just released, so there are a lot of new players entering the game right now, and a bunch of experienced players are kind of here just exploring or celebrating the fact that people are joining the game and are welcoming all of the new players, and this is just like a very exciting moment. But for now, we're just kind of going to ignore all of that, and we completed the tutorial instance, and we can now see that we leveled up to level 2. So here, every time we level up, we get a few different special rewards every time and a little bit of information, and I'm not going to pay too much attention to the screen because we're just going to be covering everything over time, but I'll accept that for now. We can see what rewards we have upcoming for us. So we can see here our personal story unlocks at level 10. Currently we're at level 2, so in like 8 more levels we're able to do our first chapter of the personal story. So in the meantime, we just have to level. But before we begin leveling, I kind of just want to do a little bit of cleanup here. So here we have the Guild Wars 2 Ender Dragons expansion that I'm just going to tab away right now. Path of Fire, I'm going to tab away right now. And I am going to explore the options for this game. So I'm just going to go through everything a little bit right now. So we have our general options, and there are a few different things that I want to select. So I'm just going to select thick health bars just because that is something that I appreciate, and I'll probably be changing things every now and then. I want skill recharge shown, and let's see, I want everything on the HUD just like that. I want to enable first person camera, which is already enabled. That's nice. I want to disable double tap to evade, and I'll just leave everything like that for now. Graphics options should be pretty high right now. That's good. Sound options I will adjust over time. I'll see how it is. Let me know how the audio is for you, and I can change things in the future. But here I want to switch some of these keybinds. So I want to switch strafing and turning, and then I want to add a walk key, and then I'm going to adjust my skills here. So let's do that. I'll just go through every single one, and for now we're just going to leave it. Actually, I'm going to change this. We're just going to leave this like so. So let us begin our adventures in Queensdale. We are now a level 2 guardian, and we can find somewhere, actually, I think it's actually back here. Let's walk back this way a little bit. I noticed we spawned farther down the hill than normal, but because normally I think back in the day we spawned way up there at the apothecary, which is at the top of that hill up there. So walking down here, there are a ton of players around, but there should be a scout that we can interact with. So let's go find the scout. I see it on the map somewhere right around here. There we go. That is a setting that I need to change again because that was difficult to find. So there, I just switched on NPC names. So let's talk to Watchman Ribic.
The fields beyond Shaymore are cried his breadbasket. Since the Centaur attack, citizens are trying to rebuild their lives. But it's tough with bandits and dangerous wildlife roaming the area. Wait for an invitation. Jump in and help them.
So here we can kind of see a bunch of different objectives that we need to do. So he just highlighted a bunch of different hearts or tasks, as some people call them, which are basically this game's versions of quests, and he is currently selecting waypoints for us to do right now, or to get to, and he will select, I believe, a hero point. Oh, no, he's done. So we talked to that scout, and now we can kind of see all the different objectives in the map. So each starting zone kind of has like a starter area, so the tutorial is like very easy, and now the starter area is a little bit harder but still very easy compared to the rest of the map and the game. So let's head across this bridge and kind of just do a little bit of map completion and kind of explore everything that there is to explore in this area. So I'm going to select this Guild Heroes banner because basically this is a banner that people can put down, and it will give you a few different buffs. So our speed is a little bit increased right now, and we will gain a little bit of experience. Here we have our first task, or Renowned Heart as some people call him. Help Dia by tending corn, stomping worm mounds, entertaining cattle, and defending the fields. So basically it's like a quest where we have a bunch of different objectives to do, and we can choose to do what we want in order to complete the quest. If you look kind of the heart, there's kind of like a circle, not this circle, but there's like a circle around it that is the area that you can do stuff in to contribute to that heart. Additionally, this game has events, which are kind of like another version of quests, which are basically just dynamic events that occur around the world that will randomly pop up and you can participate in. So this one is protect the hay bales from bandits. So currently there are 10 waves of bandits coming, so here are 2 bandits right here. And we are just going to defend all these hay bales, defend Dia's hay bales from all these bandits, and deal with everything here. So let's deal with these crop burners. As we are completing this event, we are completing the heart as well. So it is a nice little way to like double dip into the game. See worm mound here, so we can kind of just like stomp on this worm mound. And a plains-worm hatchling popped up, so we can fight this guy. And we are about like a 4th done with the heart now. Let us find some more bandits. There's some bandits over here, so let's deal with them. I can head this way. And I just want to finish up this task. Something that Guild Wars 2 introduced today, actually, as I am recording this, is a new kind of set of achievements called Adventure Guide Volume 1. So this is kind of like a very more in-depth tutorial that is actually very helpful and very beneficial from what I could read through, that is basically going to guide us through the entire game. And I'm not going to pay a ton of attention to this because I don't need it. I already know the entire game. But I am going to keep a little bit of an eye on it because I would like to complete these, as we will get experience and we can just kind of explore everything that it wants us to explore as we progress through the game. The kind of objective of these adventure guides is to help you level from level 1 to 79, and then once you reach level 80, you'll be done with it and you'll be max level, and you can kind of continue with your adventures there. So we completed the event and we just leveled up to level 3 and got a 4-slot bag, which I'm super excited for because I really need bag space. And I will close this up. We are currently playing on the free version of Guild Wars 2, and after this episode, I'm going to actually buy Guild Wars 2 on Steam. So when we come back, I'll have more stuff unlocked and we'll have a little bit of a nicer experience. The free version of the game is very nice to run through. However, it is a little bit limiting because it is the free version of the game, and buying the full game is relatively cheap, a little bit of expensive because there's a ton of content in the game. That is how MMOs tend to be. But nevertheless, I will dish it out anyways because I love this game. So we are about to complete this heart. I think we only need to stomp like one more worm mound, and we did, so we can head over to our next area. Let's just fight this worm really quickly. I really appreciate kind of like the opportunity the Steam release gave me to kind of just like explore the game again. I could have created an odd account whenever I wanted, but I think the Steam release is a good opportunity and like a good excuse for me to create like a Steam account and to be able to experience Guild Wars 2 from the beginning again. So I've played Guild Wars 2 since November 8th of 2012, so shortly after the launch date of the game, about 3 months after, or 2 months after. I've been playing a very long time, and I have about 8,500 hours in the game, I think. Many of which, to be fair, are like AFK hours, where I'm kind of just like sitting there. But I have played the game a ton, and I believe it is my single most played game that I have ever played, more than World of Warcraft, more than Minecraft, more than any other game that I've ever played. It is honestly one of my favorite games, if not my favorite game of all time, and I just love it so much, and I have a very deep knowledge base about the entire game, and I kind of just want to share and explore everything that I know about the game throughout this Let's Play. So if you are a new player, this series might actually be really beneficial for you because I'm kind of starting off from ground one, and you can kind of play along with me and we can explore the game together. And I'm just starting off here in Queensdale, so you could start off in Queensdale, or you could start off in any other zone that you want, and you can just level up with me and complete the story alongside me. And if you are experienced, I hope this is kind of just a good opportunity for you to enjoy Guild Wars 2, and at the start to enjoy a very simplistic and basic part of Guild Wars 2 that you might not have experienced in a long time, and also to just enjoy Guild Wars 2 content as a whole. And if you enjoy my personality and my YouTube channel as a whole, I hope that this Let's Play series is a good opportunity for you to enjoy that as well. So we just finished our second quest, and we have a ton of stuff completed here. So we can just kind of pick up all these tasks here, and we leveled up to level 4, and we can accept that. Something that I'm noticing is that it is very easy to level up since the recent update that came out a couple of hours ago. So they added more experience gain from this adventure guide here, so it's actually very beneficial to do this because you can gain quite a bit of experience from it. And then I think they adjusted a little bit of experience gain across the game as well. I'm not entirely sure on all the details about that, but it is nice for new people that may struggle with leveling. Back in the day, a lot of people kind of just leveled through map completion and didn't do too much else with that, and they would level out the zone because the game is kind of designed for people to do a ton of events while they're leveling, where tasks are kind of guiding them to areas where events will occur, and it's basically kind of designed for them to do the events in that area. It's kind of similar to how World of Warcraft originally quests were designed to guide you to areas where you could kill mobs, and the primary way to level was through just killing mobs. But people didn't really enjoy that too much, or didn't do that too often, so they made questing more of an complete experience. Really quickly, here we have our first Vista in the game. So vistas are kind of a cool cutscene that show the land around us. So let's take a look. So there was a cool overview of the Western Divinity Dam, kind of the area that we are in right now. And let's drop down here and finish up the heart that we are doing right now. So there we go. We leveled up and we finished this heart. Let's accept this. We leveled up to level 5. That's very nice. We're kind of speeding along here. And let's head to the next area. We have now finished 3 of the hearts. And let's head over to these orchards over here. But as I was saying, kind of events were the primary form of leveling and the game design back in the day, and it's kind of adjusted a little bit over time, as many people don't spend a ton of time doing events. They kind of just do events while they run along doing map completion. They don't stick around and look for specific events to occur in the road, and they only do it if it's very convenient. So what this would mean for a lot of people is that they would kind of under level in zones, where Queensdale is a level 1 to 15 zone. So they would get 100% map completion in Queensdale, and they'd only be level 13. So they would need to go to another zone to do some map completion there in order to get to level 15, so they can go to Kessex Hills, which is the second zone farther south of Queensdale that we will explore in the future. They'd have to get to level 15 in another zone to go explore that and to do stuff there. Right now, I think it's kind of a little bit more streamlined, I guess, or better, where we will probably be level 15 by the time that we finish Queensdale, and we will not be going to another zone. So this video, very similar to my first episode of my World of Warcraft series, is very incohesive and jumbled because there's a lot of things that I wanted to talk about and to cover and I wanted to do it while kind of basically introducing the game as a whole. So I guess one, I apologize that this video is also very jumbled, but starting off in episode 2, we are going to be very focused and kind of what we are doing in each specific episode. So here we're kind of just covering all of our bases, and we're just talking about everything that I want to talk about. But in the future, you can expect a more streamlined and straightforward video and kind of guide, I guess, to the game as we explore the entire game. But in the meantime, we just finished this task, and we can accept the rewards here, and we can head over to this next area, and we just leveled up again to level 6. So we can now select a new weapon, so we can select a greatsword or a torch. So we saw here, I'm going to come back to mace in the future, we unlock 2 more skills, but if we come on to greatsword, we now have a completely new set of skills. So each weapon in the game for each profession has a different skill set that is correlated to them. So we now have greatsword, which has completely unique abilities, and we're going to explore that more. I want to talk more about skills and stuff in the next episode as we do things. But here, we just did a dodging tutorial, so we can press V, or I disabled it, but you could double tap to a directional key to dodge, but I just dodged all of that. And I got a chest in there, which didn't have really good rewards. Had some chain greaves, so we can just equip that. And here we can kind of see our inventory. So similar to many other games, we have like a lot of different like junk items that go into our slots. But what's really cool here is we can click this button called deposit all materials, and it's going to take all of our crafting materials and it's just going to instantly deposit it into our bank, and we won't have to deal with that until we want something. So I'm just going to consistently do that over time as we kind of explore the world and unlock more items. But in the meantime, that is to this heart. So we need to help Cassie around the mole ranch, search bushes for lost moles, kill bandits, and recover feed from bandit hawk caverns. So let's do just that. So another thing that I want to talk about is kind of my editing style with this series. So you've definitely already noticed, but compared to my World of Warcraft Let's Play, which is kind of less edits and like less stuff going on in general, where it's kind of more of a full immersive experience, my objective for the Guild Wars 2 Let's Play is going to be much more edited and much more kind of like focused on basically like what I am talking about, what I am discussing, and like less downtime where we're just like fighting mobs and kind of talking about random things, where I'm going to spend more time in my World of Warcraft Let's Play just talking about like random different things about life, about games and stuff, where in Guild Wars 2 it's going to be more focused on the story that is happening as well as the gameplay systems that we are exploring. So if you enjoy me talking about a bunch of random things, I definitely suggest that you go check out my World of Warcraft Let's Play. And if you are very interested in just like focusing on Guild Wars 2, focusing on the story and focusing on the gameplay of Guild Wars 2, you should check out this series, because that is basically all I am going to be doing. So let's finish up this heart here, this renowned heart, also known as a task. And it looks like there's an event starting over here, which is nice. So we can defend Mepi from bandits. So let's fight off these bandits here. And it looks like it's just a bunch of waves of bandits again. Where over there we were fighting off waves of bandits that were trying to burn the hay bales at that farmstead over there. Over here we have waves of bandits that are just fighting or trying to fight these moles here. And we don't want these moles to die. These moles are kind of like bird-like creatures that are very fun and very cute. And we definitely do not want them to die. So let's defend them from these bandits. And we can finish off this heart while we are doing this task as well. Once we finish this task, I want to head into this cave, and I kind of want to explore it a little bit. And there's another wave over here, and I think with these bandits dead, we will not level up. But if we come over here, we can fight these two, and we finished the task. That is good. So let's head into the caves here, and we can kind of see this area of bandit haunt caverns. So I kind of just want to take a moment to explore, because if you can see in the top left corner of our map screen here, we have world completion and Queensdale completion. So Queensdale is the zone that we are in right now. It is the first zone for humans in Guild Wars 2, and we are going to work on completing this, which in order to complete this we have to complete all of the different objectives that are available in the zone. So we have looked at hearts, and we have looked at vistas, and we've seen waypoints and point of interest that we have ran around. There are also hero challenges, which are like mini challenges that we can do in order to unlock hero points, which is something we'll talk more about in the future. But here we have another vista that we can unlock, and it will contribute towards our Queensdale completion. We can complete every zone in the 2012 core game to get world completion, which is going to give us some special and unique rewards that we will see once we get there. But that is a very long ways away. Here we have the vista, so we can kind of just look at this vista. There we go. We got that vista, and we also leveled up to level 7. So I think back in the day, typically at this point in the game, I was like level 5. But here I am level 10. Or level 7, excuse me. I was just looking. A new thing that they added is that new players will be able to unlock the raptor mount at level 10. So originally you had to be level 80, and you had to do a very spoilery story mission for the second expansion of the game in order to unlock the raptor. Now we just get it at level 10. And here we just headed out of Bandit Haunt Caverns, and we kind of see that we just came into a house, which is really interesting and really cool. This house here, we can close the door and we can open the door, is kind of just like a random house that's in Queensdale, but has like a large bandit operation underneath it, which is really interesting. We can see around here, around in Queensdale, there are a lot of bandits around, and they are a faction of enemy that we're going to be fighting for a long time. But here, let's come up here, and we can find a water supply network for the area of Queensdale that's beneficial to Shaymore and to like Divinity's Reach, the big city over there. And we can get this point of interest, and we can head over here and get this vista. And after this vista, I think I'm going to go head back to Shaymore. I'm going to clean my inventory a little bit, do a little bit of just like general cleanup, and then we are going to call this episode good. So let us talk to this vista. There we go. We got that vista, and let's head back to Shaymore. So we see Shaymore is over there. I am going to go ahead and use waypoint. So any waypoints that we unlock in the world, so we've unlocked 4 of them. We have one right here. We can click on the waypoint or double click, and we can click yes. And for a very small feat, we can just teleport straight back to it, which is very nice. There are a ton of waypoints in the game, and we'll talk a little bit more about kind of like the waypoint system more in depth in the future, but basically it's just use the waypoint, you get teleported there. And here we're back at Shaymore, where all these experienced players are here, and I'm going to head over here, and I am not there. I'm going to find a merchant. There used to be a bunch of merchants around here, but it kind of seems like they are no longer here for whatever reason. So let's check up our map, and it looks like they removed up here. So let's talk to Baker Claudette right here, and we can buy yellow bags from her, but we can also sell to her. So I'm just going to click sell junk to sell all of our junk, and we can see we have a bunch of different items here. So we have gloves that we can pick, so let's pick up these gloves. We have chest piece, let's go ahead and pick that up. We have boots that we can pick up. We have leggings that we can pick up, and it looks like we actually have 2 of them, which isn't too beneficial for us. And we have a helmet, which is very cool. And if you right click, we can customize it, which will give us a ton of different options for stats that we can pick. So I'm just going to pick Honed, which is power and ferocity. I'm going to go ahead and double click that, and then I'll customize this. Pick the same one, double click that. Not preview, customize. We'll talk more about stats in a future episode, but for now I'm just picking some very like berserkery kind of like deal a ton of damage stats right now, which will be able to help us kill things faster. Let's customize these gloves. Hold, power, ferocity. Throw that in. And then we have these bags of pinched goods. So we can double click this and it'll contain a little bit of loot for us. So we got a few different crafting materials. Let's go ahead and deposit that. And then we can head back over here. And we can I can no longer talk to her because there is an event going on right now that she cannot get the ingredients that she needs, because I believe either an event is going on or the event failed here where the hay was burned by the bandits, so it basically locked off that merchant from us. But this merchant is still available that also sells bags, so we can sell all these things. And I am going to hold on to this mace. I want to keep this mace so that we can explore it in another episode. Right here we can kind of see the new armor that we equipped on our character. So we're looking very snazzy right now with a ton of new stuff that we unlocked. And I'm just going to come over here and I am just going to log out right here. And I want to do a little bit of stuff in between episodes where I kind of unlock the expansions and unlock the entire game. And when we come back next episode, we are going to be continuing into the greater part of Queensdale. This episode we finished the tutorial and finished like the starting zone of humans, so now we have the opportunity to go to Shaymore Garrison, which we saw in the starting zone, talk to this scout, see what there is to do in the world, and go explore that. I talked a lot about what this episode is and kind of what we're doing in this episode, and it's very jumbled and there's a ton of stuff going on, so I hope everything makes sense for people. If you're confused about anything, feel free to ask questions, and in future episodes everything is going to be much more focused. And from there, I'm going to call it good. If you appreciate my content and appreciate this video, feel free to leave a like, subscribe to my channel to help support me, and leave a comment down below talking about anything about the series, about the game, about my channel, whatsoever. I really appreciate comments, and I love reading them, and I respond to most of the comments that come onto my channel, so feel free to leave one. But until next time, I hope you all have a great time. Hope you all check your posture, drink some water, and I will see y'all in episode 2. Goodbye.